So what makes a good wind farm location?
You and I have an insatiable appetite for electricity. Come with me and we'll look at the issues relative to wind farms and the communities that they serve. This is the Windfarm Guy.
Hi, this is Dennis Stout, and thank you for joining me for this episode of the Windfarm Guy. This episode will be the third part in a series on wind farm basics. Today we're looking at what a wind farm developer might be considering as they select a suitable wind farm location. There are many things that wind farm developers consider when determining if a location is suitable for a wind farm. Really, the rule of thumb is these can be boiled down to 5 things. First is good wind. Yes, that is kind of a no-brainer. There must be good wind resources or the site won't even be considered. The United States has many areas that have good wind resources. Data from the National Renewable Energy Laboratories, or NREL, show that the midsection of the U.S. has the richest and strongest wind. That is why there are more wind turbines from Texas all the way up to Wisconsin than the rest of the United States combined. Wind farm developers will quickly install wind monitoring equipment to measure, record, and determine the wind profile, which will include wind direction, strength, time of day, and more. Second are willing landowners. Wind developers need to have that good wind blowing across enough land that is owned by people that are willing to lease their property for a wind farm. In addition, the current land use and the ground conditions are also important, very important. You know, wind blowing across, say, an airport or a swamp would not be good, even if the wind were great and the land available. Third, transmission nearby with available capacity. This is a bit of a tricky component. The easy part is finding an existing transmission line. An existing transmission line must be studied to determine the available capacity on it or how much it would cost to increase that capacity. They also take into account the existing power generators and other developing or proposed generators, as well as current and future grid infrastructure that would affect that available capacity. Fourth, favorable permitting. The local community has a huge role in the development of a wind farm. Counties determine the setback distances from homes, roads, and property lines. They also approve the agreements for road use and crossings. They will require all the necessary studies to be performed showing favorable results, and some areas may be challenging to access even with the proper approvals. Perhaps it's just too hard to get to. Gaining community acceptance goes beyond the stated ordinances. What are the future plans for the area? All the T's could be crossed and the I's dotted, but if the local community does not support the project, it could be a challenging time. And fifth, favorable sales prices. Electricity is sold and purchased at different prices in different areas of the country. Just look at your own electricity bill. It will likely be higher or lower than those in other areas. So, wind farm developers try to sell to the highest bidder. That might be local, or it might be exported to another part of the country. Remember, exports are a good thing. Those crops that are grown in your area generally don't stay local anyway, and neither should power. Wind companies evaluate the electricity market and secure the best available buyer. If you like what I've said today, be sure and click like and subscribe below. If you have thoughts or want me to address a particular topic relative to wind farms, please also leave me a comment. If you are being courted by a wind farm development company, do yourself a favor and listen to what they have to say. You will be pleasantly surprised. Oh, sure, there are area naysayers, but I have found that they typically have their own personal interest in mind rather than yours, and you control your property. You know, those royalty payments sure do come in handy, especially during the lean years. This is Dennis Stout, and I'm the Windfarm Guy.
Thank you for watching. Working together, we can make good energy decisions and save our planet. I am the Windfarm Guy.